Center Axis Relock. Howdy y'all and welcome back. It's got to be one of the worst names for a shooting technique ever. So, I got to go to the range yesterday and shoot live rounds. It was weird. But I'm happy to report that doing tons, like ridiculous amounts of dry practice here at home really paid off. So that was pretty cool. Got to get a little practice with my almost completed war belt. Did a little practice with a chest rig, which I'd never done before. And we practiced center axis relock. So this came up. My homie Brandon, my shooting buddy, and I were at the range, and he mentioned it. And he was like, have you ever tried that center, that axis something or other technique? And I was like, I have not, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen the videos on YouTube, and I've always wondered, like, what is that like? Now, I have practiced in actual training classes the pectoral index. So you're practicing shooting someone at extremely close distance from this position, indexing thumb at the pectoral so that your slide reciprocates back here and not into yourself, jamming the gun. And I've shot from this position, but I had never tried this one or the aimed, So we tried both, and it's weird. It's definitely something you want to do a little practice if you ever think you might. What came up was he and I both had found ourselves in this position practicing clearing our own homes. That kind of LARPy thing we do. You've done it. Where you may be testing out your light and you're working through some rooms and you end up bringing it in because you don't want to come through a doorway or something fully extended. So it is a thing I had found myself, doing in practice, but had never tried it with live rounds. It's a strange recoil impulse, and it's way the hell louder than having it at extension. So definitely something worth trying. Now, we were at the steel range where the closest targets were those little skinny poppers down on the ground at about 15 yards. And then the next closest targets are some like IPSC size steel at about 25 yards. So we weren't making any hits. I think I hit one of the skinny poppers at like 15 using the aimed technique a couple of times. But clearly this is a technique intended for extremely close distance, like in really close. So is it a valid thing? Is it total Hollywood bullshit? I think it's probably pretty valid. I'm curious if any of y'all have ever tried it. I'm going to go ahead and recommend it, but I would also recommend probably watch some like instructional tutorial videos and make sure you're doing it right, because I don't know that we were. But anyway, it was kind of more like a thought exercise put into practice kind of a deal, but pretty good stuff. Let's see, I also had confirmed sights on my 229, had a spring kit in my 19 that I hadn't tried yet. So I'll have a whole handful of videos coming, kind of trickling out through the week, touching on some of the different stuff we worked on. One super weird thing is I came home with ammo yesterday, which is a thing that I never, ever, 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 ever do when I go to the range. I brought 200 rounds of 9 and came home with 50, and I took 150 rounds of 5.56 and came home with like half of that. It's super weird, but really worked on doing drills that slowed our butts down and conserved ammo, and really worked on getting the most out of our range time. So that's what I'll be bringing you throughout the rest of the week. That's all I got for today, though. Until next time, be easy, y'all.